Yep, come on.
Good afternoon, Cary Rotary Club. Welcome this gorgeous May afternoon to the friendliest club in District 7710. Thank you so much for being here, both in person and online. May we all be together someday soon. Can I call on Rod Brooks, please, to lead us in the invocation and the pledge?
I will. Thank you, President Bob. Let us take a minute to give thanks in a way that is consistent with our beliefs and faith. Consistent with my Christian religion, dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the many blessings that you bestowed upon our lives. We thank you for the comfort and the grace that you've given us during recent times of sadness. We thank you, Lord, for the infinite power of compassion that you give us to recognize the needs of people in our community and around the world. And we thank you, Lord, for the power that you give us as Rotarians to make a difference in people's lives. Be with us today. Please guide our efforts and our conversations and our thoughts, that we may constantly live out our Rotary motto of service above self. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Land that I love, and guide her.
Tonight with light from love, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
We are in fine voice today. Thank you, Rod. Bill Fletcher, could I ask you to introduce our guests and visiting Rotarians for today?
We have down on this side of the house, I believe, Van Starling. Please stand up. Van's visiting us today. May will be part of our group. Please make him welcome. Welcome, Van.
Welcome, Ben. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. And did you have a couple of other items that you wanted to mention?
I do. Tonight is the Cary Chambers Tonight is the Cary Chamber Honor Teacher Celebration. We as a club sponsor 2 awards, $1,000 each to 2 teachers that were selected based on their resume, curriculum vitae, and a video that they shared with us, with our selection committee. And our focus is on literacy and helping young people conquer that barrier between learning to read and reading to learn. And so tonight we'll recognize those 2 teachers at the Cocoa Booth Amphitheater. It's a secret until then. Our club sponsors 2 of the 30 awards that will be presented tonight, and other members of our club sponsor, I think, 5 other awards through their businesses. And this all comes out of it's an outgrowth of what Ralph and Daphne Ashworth started many years ago called the Discovery Award, where they wanted to recognize one teacher. Well, now we're recognizing a teacher from 30 different Cary schools. And it's a fantastic event. It's free, it's open. If you'd like to come, it starts at 6. And it'll be a good thing. But thank you, club, for sponsoring this program. The teachers appreciate it, and just want to let you know that I do too.
Thank you, Bill. And again, thank you to the club, and thank you, Ralph, for initiating that program.
My winner this year, well, a winner 20 years ago. The coach at Cary High School, he's now coach, he won this year. So 20 years ago, he won.
Wow. Yep. And I feel compelled to say there's an embargo on that information. Ralph's in the know. Thank you. Thank you. Can I also ask Neil Lagarde to come and speak to us about Summer Salute? Neil.
Thank you, Bob, for the opportunity. Most of y'all should have seen over the weekend, Bob forwarded an email that I sent to him. This year, obviously, as we've done for, I guess, the last 19 years, I have supported Transitions Life Care, formerly Hospice of Wake County, with their endeavor to provide end-of-life care to those that wouldn't necessarily be able to afford this opportunity. And it's a great organization, obviously something that I'm passionate about. I'll tell you, every meeting we have someone, a hospice hero, come and talk to us. And, most of the time it's somebody that either has worked or taken, has been through their care process, that will share their story and the passion that they have for the organization. And it's always heartfelt, many times with a tear, from us as to what opportunity that we provided them. And so, I ask each of you to take some time, look at the email, read through it. The event is next week from Saturday, so the 14th at Northridge Country Club. Come join us. The Embers will be playing beach music. It's kind of beach attire, so you don't have to put on the tux. We welcome anybody that would like to be a sponsor. If someone would like raffle tickets or tickets to the event, I'll be happy to bring them next week if you just, let me know. But it's just as easy to go online and buy the raffle ticket or buy tickets to the event, make a donation, sponsor. Any way you can help, it's greatly appreciated. And I appreciate the club's support over the years. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Neil. And of course, while hospice is not exclusive to the senior community, it certainly is very consistent with one of our 5 areas of impact around supporting seniors in the community. So thank you for your involvement. Speaking of the club's generosity, last week, we came to realize, bolt of lightning, as we were promoting raffle tickets for CART, that it's been months and months since we put the CART buckets out at the table. So with that trigger, there are now CART buckets on the table. Enough said. We're also in the midst of this week and next collecting some personal items that will be contributed and used as part of the district service project that's part of each. Every year at the district conference, there's a service project that concludes the meeting. This year, there's some information on each of the tables. The recipient organization is one called The Dwelling, which is a fairly unique organization that provides a mobile shower facilities for the unhoused population in and around Forsyth County and Central North Carolina. So as a district, each club is contributing items that will go into the assembly of shower kits that will serve 2,000 of these individuals over the course of time. And so the club is going to make a contribution of items, but also to the extent you'd like to make a personal contribution of those items, if you bring them in next week, I'll carry them over to Winston-Salem. I also want to thank Krista Lemery. Do I still see Krista? She's blued out at the moment, but Krista has been doing a big job over at the Templeton, where they've been focused on collecting these items in support of the club in the district as well. So special thank you to Krista and the residents of Templeton and to all of you as well. Renee Spell, you've got some fun news for us.
Finally, the temperatures are right and the days are a little bit longer. So next Thursday, you got an email from me about this. We're going to just gather at Bull City Cider Works. It's on Chatham Street. You'll recognize it. It used to be the old WPTF building. And I think there's a bridal shop upstairs, but don't be confused. The Cider Works down on the lower level. But there's indoor and outdoor seating. There is a food truck there that night. And so just come, bring your significant other, spouses, and we'll just sit around and see each other than here. Rotary. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, Scott. PSA real quick. Renee, thank you so much for setting this up. I just want to add 2 sentences, really, and that is Bull City Cider Works is fabulous. You don't have to like cider. They have little flights, they have beers, they have wine, they have Cokes, Pepsi. It's a wonderful venue. So what a great opportunity for us to get together and have a little fun outside of our regular meeting. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, Scott said it was good, so that's why.
I think Scott said something about buying the first round too. I'm not exactly sure. But you must be present to win.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be nice, agenda-free, right? It'll just be a nice opportunity for us to be together, enjoy each other's company, and enjoy a nice evening. So look forward to next Thursday night. The week after that, I do want to just have you put something on your calendar for May 21st is the next district assembly, which will be held at Greenwood Forest Baptist Church. It's a great opportunity to meet Rotarians from outside the club, to learn a little bit more about what's going on across the district. And will be District Governor Angela Jameson's kind of swan song transition to incoming Nathan Thomas as the district governor. So always a good program on that date. So 9 to 11, in person only for that event. All right, any miracle moments before we proceed?
I have one.
Yes, Bill.
I'm wearing this inconspicuous shirt. It says "Wake Up and Read." And from January through March, volunteers in Wake County and this coalition called Wake Up and Read collected more than 100,000 gently used books. They've been sorted, and for the next 3 weeks, they will be made available to students in low-income communities by presenting them with the opportunity to go to a book fair in their public school. So yesterday I helped set up the fair at Smith Elementary over in Garner, and the books are organized by reading level. Every student gets a bag like this. They go in and they can pick out 6 books that they'd like to read. It could be about sports, about nature, about science, about just a fun chapter book. And then they get to go to the new book table and get 2 additional books, most of which will have something other than a white male lead character in those new books, because most of these students are diverse, and they're let's just say they come from a diverse community. And this is a program that now is in its 4th year, I believe, in terms of collecting these books and distributing them to children in this way. It's a tremendous way to help support reading, because if you remember, the Annie Casey Foundation estimates that there is 1 book for every 300 children in low-income neighborhoods. You got to have books to be able to read. Got to have books in your hand to be able to learn to read. And that's what this program is a part of. So that's what our Read a Book program is a part of. But this one's a big scale. I'd love for us to participate in this perhaps more fully next year, where we might really make an effort to collect books as part of this book collection process to support Wake Up and Read. So thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And you're in a perfect seat to create that influence over next year, it looks like to me. So, any other miracle moments? All right, we have one other challenge. Camille Hedrick is joining us remotely because she's involved in a Nerf battle somehow at Green Hope High School and in a classroom. So it's our mission to make her laugh uproariously and disrupt the classroom at some point.
Just stepped out of the
during next 40
classroom.
minutes.
I
So
saw
we're
this
all over
coming.
it, Camille. All right.
I stepped
Bill,
out
can
because
call
I
you
could
up
not
again
trust
to
you
the- You're a
people.
busy man today. To introduce our speaker.
I'm very happy to introduce our speaker today. One of our strategic objectives as a club that we've made a little bit of progress on is the idea of dealing with the lack of upward economic mobility in our community. Wake County ranks right at the bottom of the first 100 metros in terms of people who are born in poverty wind up dying in poverty without making movement up that ladder economically. when doing research about what we might do and how we might apply leverage as a club, I was pointed by several people to an organization called Junior Achievement, JA. Today, we're going to hear from Gerri Brodman, who is been with JA of Eastern North Carolina now for 14 years. She's the mom of 3, 2 of them are college grads, and the third one is on his way to being a college grad. Has lived in Raleigh for those 16 years now, I believe. And she's responsible for recruiting, training, and placing volunteers in classrooms and promoting school-based programs. So, Gerri, we're looking forward to hearing how you can share with us about JA and how we might participate. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. I'm gonna test this out. Great. All right. I want to thank Bill and Bob for inviting me to speak to you today about Junior Achievement of Eastern North Carolina. I don't know how many of you are familiar with us. Some of you may have participated as students or as educators or as volunteers. But I will give you today just a brief history of JA, a description of some of our programming, volunteers role and teacher role, and the impact that JA makes on students. So our mission is to inspire and prepare young people to succeed in a global economy. The inspiration piece comes from volunteers who not only teach our programs, but also inspire students to stay in school and get the skills they need to be successful in the workplace. You're in the process of teaching a program, you're sharing your work and educational experiences to help students connect their education to the real world. The preparation involves our proven lessons that promote financial capability, work and career readiness, and business ownership. Junior Achievement was founded in 1919, so over 100 years ago, to introduce teenagers to concepts of business and manufacturing so that once they were old enough to enter the workforce, they would possess the skills needed to succeed in industrialized cities. Our first program was the company program. We have a version of that program today. By organizing and operating an actual business enterprise, students not only learn how businesses function, but they also learned about the structure of the US free enterprise system and the benefits it provides. In 1975, our programming was expanded into classrooms and to students at all grade levels, from kindergarten all the way through high school. Okay, so we are not only a national organization, but we are also a worldwide organization. I can share with you that we were nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize this year by a distinguished professor of law and international affairs who was impressed by JA's incredible global reach, our success in delivering economic empowerment to youth, and our ability to find unity in diversity. For over 100 years, JA has operated all over the world, including where there is political instability, violence, and war, as well as unemployment, poverty, and hopelessness that stem from such conditions. By helping youth develop the employment and entrepreneurial tools to find meaningful work and start sustainable companies, JA serves as a conduit for peace and prosperity. Through JA, young people are equipped with the mindset and skill set to build thriving communities. This nomination is an incredible honor for the entire JA network, which includes over 340 local offices in 115 countries. This nomination inspires the JA network to grow and maximize our impact. So stay tuned in early October for those Nobel Peace Prize announcements. So we've been in this area since 1975. We reached over 12,700 students in the 2019-2020 school year, which was half of it was when COVID hit us. So our numbers dipped a little bit the following year. Once COVID hit, our programming is developed by our JA National USA office in Colorado. They developed remote versions of most of our programs, so we could still have volunteers teach our programs to students remotely. Nothing beats the in-person programming, but that was a way that we could reach students even though we were challenged by a pandemic. So our area serves 18 counties. But we're primarily in Wake, Durham, Johnston, and Orange County. These are the counties we serve on the map. We do have two other JA areas that the one in Greensboro serves the Triad, and then our Charlotte office serves Western North Carolina. Junior Achievement offers programs to students at every grade level, from kindergarten through high school. Our curricula supports classroom learning. Concepts and skills taught correlate with Common Core and North Carolina curriculum standards in social studies, language arts, and math. So for elementary school, each program has 5 lessons ranging between 30 to 45 minutes. And those programs teach kids the basics of the world around them, earning and saving money, the economic role of individuals in the community, the difference between a need and a want, economic opportunities within their community, personal responsibility, and the role that local businesses play into the economy. Our middle school programs consist of 6 45-minute lessons, and there are several programs that focus on different topics. So we have an entrepreneurship program, we have a work readiness program, and a financial literacy program. In middle school, students receive opportunities for career exploration, experiences with real life issues, such as how to use credit wisely, how the level of their education impacts career choices, earning and saving money, personal financial responsibility, in-demand soft skills or employability skills that they need to develop that employers are looking for. Our high school programs range between 5 to 7 lessons. In high school, again, there's a program that focuses on different topics, an entrepreneurship program, a financial literacy program, career readiness program. High school students are given the opportunity to explore interpersonal skills required for career and personal success, lifelong skills and knowledge about how an economy works, personal and international economics, key financial principles of budgeting and saving and investing, wise use of credit, identity theft, and insurance, ethical decision-making as they prepare to enter the workforce. And again, those soft skills that are in demand that need to be developed and are, and that employers are looking for. Benefits of our programs include a practical application of classroom theory to real life, an appreciation for the relationship between education and workplace success, an understanding of the importance of staying in school. Okay, so as I mentioned, our programs are developed by JAUSA. They are developed with input from educators. We pilot our programs for a year before they are rolled out nationally. And we request feedback from educators, volunteers, and JA staff and students. Our programs are easy to implement. When someone volunteers, we provide them with everything that is needed to teach that class. Our programs include pre-designed and printed materials. There are digital versions of most of our programs as well. Our programs include, each session has an introduction of the topic or warm-up, hands-on activity, and then a summary and review or a wrap-up. Then we provide additional resources such as videos or training videos that we provide to volunteers so that they can be comfortable teaching in the classroom. And some of our programs also include interactive presentations that have links to videos or websites or other areas that the students, that gives the students an additional opportunity for interactive features. Okay, so each kit of materials that a volunteer receives includes an educator and volunteer guide that has step-by-step instructions and talking points, an overview and outline of topics and key terms for each session. It gives you what are the objectives of each session, what is the preparation time needed, what is the recommended time in the classroom, and places that you can personalize and incorporate your own life experiences to further reinforce that connection between students' education and the real world. There's always a hands-on activity or a game that the students play with each session, so those materials are also provided to you. And again, some of those programs have interactive presentations, slide games, and videos as well. Okay, so what are the options for volunteering? So there are several ways that we implement our programs. One is, which has become more popular in recent years, is the JA in a Day format, where volunteers visit a school, I coordinate the day and schedule, and I recruit volunteers to fill those slots to teach that program. And then the traditional format, up until a few years ago, we were doing the traditional format, and that means that a volunteer would sign up to work with a classroom teacher who has requested one of our programs and would set their schedule to visit the classroom once a week for 5, 6, or 7 weeks, depending on the grade level, and teach one session of the program each week. Other options for volunteering are go to a school and speak about your career. So either at a career fair, or sometimes I just have teachers, classroom teachers, reach out and say, I need someone who has experience or who has an IT background. Can they come to the school and speak to my classroom? Another opportunity is to record several members for a career, recording of a career panel, and each of you would speak for a few minutes about your career and educational background, and the recording would be provided to a school that has requested it, or we would make it available either on YouTube or on Vimeo, and they could access that video. And then host students for a workplace visit. So we take students to businesses so that they learn what a corporate environment is like. They hear from folks from that business that might be in different departments, so they know that if you're in IT, businesses have different areas where you could work. So it's a financial. If it's like Credit Suisse is a financial company, but they hire people in IT and HR and in other areas, not just financial, not just finances. Okay, so we recently worked with the Wilson Rotary, and they wanted to work with a specific high school. It was Hunt High School. A total of 24 volunteers taught the JA Career Success Program, which has 7 sessions. They split the sessions up, so there were 3 classrooms, and volunteers taught either 1 or 2 sessions. Most only taught 1, and they team taught. So they had 2 volunteers in each classroom. So when we have folks team teach, one person will lead the lesson and the other person will assist the person who's leading the lesson. So that's what they did. So that was a way that we got them involved. So the volunteer's role is to lead the discussion, plan and prepare lessons, and engage the kids. As a volunteer from the business community, you are the experienced resource and the role model. So again, always incorporate some experience or a story from your own personal experiences to further make that connection between the student's education and their future success in the real world. The classroom teacher's role during a JA program is to schedule visits with the volunteer if they're doing the weekly classes, have the students prepared for the volunteer's visit, manage behavior, create a positive and respectful environment, remain in the classroom at all times, assist volunteers wherever needed, and encourage class discussion. So always, again, I've said this a few times, personalize. So use your own, draw from your own experiences, choose 1 or 2 stories about the topic. Students love stories, and jot down a few examples that bring the information to life. Review the session materials and prepare for those sessions. 30 minutes to 1 hour for each session you are leading. Why do educators support JA? Our programs are free, fun, and relevant. So we provide our programs, and I was talking a bit earlier about how we raise money to bring our programs to school. So we apply for grants. We have grants from UPS, Wells Fargo, Credit Suisse, and other large organizations. We do fundraising events throughout the year. We've done them virtually the past couple of years, but typically we do a bowl-a-thon or 2. We have a large gala every year, and we have different campaigns where we solicit donations from individuals as well. So our programs are provided to schools at no cost to them. Each session includes a hands-on activity or a game, which makes learning fun. Our programs are relevant because they align with North Carolina and Common Core standards in social studies, math, and language arts. Our programs allow for community involvement in education. Family and community involvement fosters partnerships among schools, family and community groups, and individuals. These partnerships result in sharing and maximizing resources. When parents, families, and members of the community are involved in schools, all children benefit. Adult participation sends the message that school is important and the work children do there is worthy of adult attention. So everybody wins. Kids win because they're given the opportunity to interact with positive role models from the business community. JA programs show the importance of education to future success. JA inspires kids to succeed and improve their quality of life. Volunteers win because they receive personal fulfillment, knowing they have made an impact on the lives of kids. Teaching JA helps volunteers build valuable job skills, including communication, organization, and presentation. And businesses win because JA promotes the free enterprise system, helps prepare the future workforce, creates better educated consumers, and enhances employee development. So through an innovative partnership between the business community, educators, and volunteers, JA areas help young people connect with relevant learning and the importance of staying in school. JA inspires students to develop competitive skills and confidence. Their success bolsters the local workforce and contributes to economic growth. Studies have shown that as a result of their JA experiences, our alumni start more companies, hire more employees, and produce significantly larger annual sales than ventures led by non-alumni. Our alumni also save more, hold less debt, and are less likely to spend more than they earn. JA alumni report higher levels of household income and career satisfaction, and they're less likely to drop out of school, face unemployment, or collect social insurance. So those studies are available on the JA.org and the JA Worldwide websites. It's an impact study that you can find. So that brings me to, so this is our very small but mighty staff of JA of Eastern North Carolina. And then does anyone have any questions? Yes.
Do the volunteers follow and are they vetted?
Yeah, so volunteers we provide them with a volunteer guide that gives them a step-by-step instructions. So each lesson is, you're basically given the lesson talking points, the lesson materials, everything you need to teach that lesson is provided to you. You just have to bring your passion for education and for, helping the community. Always bring in something from your own real world experiences to help those students make those real world connections. Yes.
How do teachers know how to contact you folks?
So we present at different events. So we speak at at career development coordinator meetings, whether they're statewide or local. I reach out to teachers so sometimes a group of volunteers will come to me and say, we would like to volunteer, on such and such a date for financial literacy month, whatever it may be. And we would like to work with an at-risk school. So I will reach out to several principals or teachers that we've worked with in the past, and see if they're interested in having the program on those dates or time of year.
So different question, but I remember JA, and they used to have internships. You'd sponsor internships. Do you do that now?
We haven't done that in this area, but we have interns in our offices. Is that what you're, or just placing students in internships? Yeah, that's something we haven't done. We'd have to explore that.
I've known JA for a long time, but I did not know in elementary school. So I would think the high school program is strongest, maybe more robust, but how does the elementary school, is that a strong program?
We actually teach more elementary grade level programs. But we do teach in middle and high schools as well. Yeah, so in elementary school, you might go to, second graders. Their program is about the community, and they learn on how to vote, what voting is, and then they have a little voting activity. They learn how money flows through the community by listening to a song that takes them through different shops, and this person bought something here, and then that person from the shop buy something somewhere else. So it teaches them how money flows through the community. And also there's a career readiness component in the second grade program as well, because they learn how to work in a team to make donuts by putting stickers on little donuts. So they learn everything's age appropriate. So it's developed so that a second grader can understand it. And the big thing is needs and wants, which, you know, some adults need those lessons as well. But yeah, so it's all age appropriate, you know, at their level. Yes.
My son did that, and they made a project that they sold.
That's the company program, which that's the original program that started JA over 100 years ago. They create, this kids learn all aspects of running a business, and they create a product, they raise money for their business, they sell their product. So it takes a lot of commitment. So we have had that program, not in Wake County recently, but we have had that program, and we still offer that program for anyone who might be interested. Yes.
Actually, I think you did have that program at Wake County at one time, because I was a GA advisor or volunteer in the 70s and 80s with Cooper Tools, Lofton, out at Apex. And I thought that's what we did with Gideon. I thought we had actually developed a company, raised the money, and so forth.
Yes, that is JA. That's the JA company program. My husband was actually, that's how I found out about JA years and years ago, is that my husband was in one of those JA companies up in New Jersey. So, and they did that. I can't remember what they made, maybe yo-yos or something. But yes.
This is maybe more of a rhetorical question, but why isn't this content in the curriculums of schools? Just, right, it seems like something we should be presenting to our children.
Right, so some of it is in the schools. I know that there's been financial literacy requirement added to high school, which I believe is starting with the upcoming school year, or in the upcoming school year. The intent of JA is to complement what's already being taught in schools, but just giving the students a different perspective. So it kind of helps them make that connection. Why are they learning this in school? And then you have your volunteer coming in and teaching and showing you what your potential is. Yes.
It's wonderfully organized. I've been watching your presentation. How do you maintain the continuity from elementary school to middle school to is there a graduation process, or how do you keep it going?
So we don't necessarily have, you know, programming from, you know, all throughout elementary, middle, and high school. It's really just on, you know, whichever schools or teachers request the program, we provide the program to them. Yeah. But, you know, we do have programming at Dillard Drive Middle, and we have programming at, as an example, at Athens Drive Middle, which is Dillard is a feeder school. So those kids, there's a good chance they'll get JA again in high school if they've had it in middle school. But we don't have that throughout Wake County or throughout our area. But some schools do have, some kids do have it over multiple years.
I noticed on your map of counties that it didn't include the coastal counties. Different organizations.
So some of the coastal counties up all the way up north are served by Hampton Roads in Virginia. And then the gray areas are not served by any JA office, but we do have requests from those areas. So when we do, we try to help them out. There's just not an official JA area that serves those coastal counties. Am I getting the
No, this is great. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for listening to me.
And we just wanted to give you a little gift.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's great.
So thank you.
Thank you, Gerri, and thank you, Aidan, for thanking Gerri. Clearly an opportunity for us to be getting involved if we want to have an influence around some of the financial literacy in particular concerns. So thank you for making us aware of everything that your organization does. If you see Carolyn Wasdell today, wish her a happy birthday. Today is Carolyn's birthday. It's also Audrey Sossman's birthday, which might explain why Paul is not with us today. And Bob, don't forget Bonnie's birthday, May 6th is, I guess that's Friday. So happy birthday to Bonnie Lyerly. If we chase down Ron Stanton, we can congratulate him on his 18th anniversary as a Rotarian in the Cary Rotary Club. So congratulations and thank you for Ron's contributions. And if you see Mary and Art Camp, wish them a happy anniversary, May 6th. Next week, our program is provided by Scott Schneider, who's connected us with Alan Winstead, who's responsible for Meals on Wheels. I know there's a number of Rotarians here in the room that participate in that program. Our meal, we're going from light to comfort foods, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, gravy, and green beans. Nap time to follow. In 2 weeks, Paul Sossman has arranged to have Tim Farless, who's with State Farm Insurance, come and speak to us about eliminating household hazards. So that'll be a great program, I'm sure. As we close our meeting today, I want to thank everybody that's contributed. Paul Wazalkevich, Scott pinch hitting as Paul's doing his civic duty, working early voting. Rod for your invocation, Bill for your welcome and introduction, Aidan, thank you for thanking Gerri. And as we leave this afternoon and go back out into the world, can I ask Leon Abbas to please lead us out with a four-way test?
Of the things that didn't say in good first.
Is it true?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Leon. Please remember Mother's Day, Sunday. Happy Mother's Day.
Frank,